Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book The Wolf of Wall Street. It was 1998 in a luxury house on the coast of Long Island. The smell of cigarette smoke and alcohol hung over the place. Young men and women were dancing like there was no tomorrow. It was a lavish party. Suddenly, people heard the wail of a siren. Policemen entered the house, walked straight up to Jordan Belfort and handcuffed him. Belfort was once a prominent stockbroker of Wall Street, infamously known as what Forbes called the twisted version of Robin Hood and the Wolf of Wall Street within the Wall Street Circle. Born and raised in an ordinary family, Belfort has no academic background in finance. However, he was able to establish himself in the capital-driven world within a very short time. Through despicable schemes, he was able to make $12 million effortlessly in just 3 minutes. By the age of 31, Belfort was already a multimillionaire. But at 36, he was arrested on federal fraud charges. How did Belfort accomplish this primitive capital accumulation within such a short time? And how did he end up in jail, redeem himself later, and even get his life story on the big screen? The Wolf of Wall Street is more than just an autobiography. Rather, it's an intriguing story of mindset transformation. Belfort was encouraged by a fellow prisoner to write this book in jail. While he was in jail reflecting on his past, the outside world was still perturbed by what he had done. Several publishers competed to get the rights to publish his book. Later, Hollywood showed interest in making this book into a movie. It was reported that Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio competed to play the role of Belfort in the film of the same name. Leonardo DiCaprio got the role in the end, and the film was a blockbuster, grossing several hundreds of millions of dollars. It was nominated for several awards, including the Academy Award for Best Picture, and was also selected as one of the top 10 movies of the year at the 14th AFI Awards. What makes the difference between a financial magnate and the average Joe investor? Are they born rich and tenacious? Are they always successful and do they never fail? We'll find out the answers by following the footsteps of Belfort, a Wall Street's legendary figure whose life was once defined by greed, sex, and drugs. We'll unlock this book in the following 4 parts. Part 1, The Making of a Business Genius. Part 2, Founding his own firm and making a mint. Part 3, Fighting against the FBI. Part 4, Self-redemption. Part 1, The Making of a Business Genius. In 1962, Jordan Belfort was born into a middle-class family in New York City. His parents were both accountants. Due to his family's influence, Belfort became quite sensitive to money at an early age. He was also a boy who had little sense of security and he often saw his parents as stubborn and bossy. In Belfort's eyes, his father was insane. He was a chain smoker and an alcoholic who would go berserk every time he got drunk. This frightened little Belfort. His mother was an ambitious Jewish woman. Having been an accountant for most of her life, she started studying at a law school when she was almost 60. A strong-willed woman who pursued freedom, she placed high hopes on Belfort from the time he was in the cradle and aspired for him to study medicine when he grew up. As a teenager, Belfort was shorter than his peers and not very good-looking, which made him a target of ridicule by his classmates. This frustrated him and lowered his self-esteem. Being rejected and mocked at left a scar in his heart, which heavily influenced the shaping of his values. To him, all these unhappy things happened because he had little money, so he made up his mind to become rich. Adult Belfort would call himself a natural-born businessman. For him, making money was a piece of cake, and he believes he can find business opportunities everywhere as long as he looks for it. Belfort undoubtedly showed business talent from a very young age. When he was just a little boy, he would take a shovel with him after a blizzard and knock on doors in the neighborhood to ask if they needed someone to clear snow. In exchange for his services, he would get